Okay, so in Blender, I'm going to be teaching you how to use the RigACar add-on, uh, so that you can make your car be able to move in a better way, an easier way to animate your car. So here I have a bunch of objects. I really just want to narrow these down to be only 5, which is going to be the body and 4 wheels. You can see the 4 wheels here. Now, for me, all of these wheels are made up of different pieces, and there's also different pieces of the body that I want to connect together. So, in the end, I want to be able to move this body right here, the body of the car, and these two, the little topper and the cone for the party hat, should be able to move together. So what I'll do is, I'll select the monkey, I'll hold down Shift, and then select the cone, and then I'll also select the car to last. You want to make sure that the car is selected last, because then you'll get this yellow outline here. And by hitting Command or Control P, you'll see a Set Parent to menu. You can click Object, Keep Transform, and now when you move this, it moves the other 2 objects with it. For the wheels too, what you want to do is make it so that the inside, the rims of the tires, are the ones that move the outside. So right now I just have a torus, I just have like a donut shape on the outside, and a kind of disc on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the outside of the tire, I'm going to hold down Shift and select the inside, and then I'll hit Control or Command P. Object Keep Transform, and you can see when I select the wheel, it moves with it. So do that for the other ones too. Outside of the wheel, inside, Command P, Object Keep Transform, outside, inside, outside, inside, Command P, Object Keep Transform. Outside, inside, Command P, Keep Transform. So now you can see we have 5 main objects. The main body of the car, back left wheel, back right wheel, forward left wheel, forward right wheel. If you have a suspension system in your car, I would highly suggest parenting all of that to the main body. Now the next thing that we need to do is set up the naming convention for this. So you can see with our 5 objects here, we need to name them a certain way so that RigACar can actually understand what we're trying to rig. So I will select this car and by double clicking on the name here, you can change it. Now you can start with any name that you want, but the rest of the name has to follow the same way. So you could name it Really Cool Car or Cone Car. For this instance, I'm just going to call it the Cone Car. But you have to make sure you use this as the beginning every single time. So for the body, I call it Cone Car dot body. Make sure you keep the B capital. For the front left wheel, I'll click on the inside, the one that moves the other part of the wheel. I'll double click on the name, and then I'll do cone car dot wheel, keep W capital, dot FT for front, the F is capital, dot L for left. Then I'll hit enter. So now I'll do the front right wheel, click on this, then double click on the cylinder, cone car, still keeping the same capitals as before, and the same name, dot wheel, capital W, dot FT, capital F, dot R, capital R. Then we'll do the back right wheel, cone car, both C's are capital, dot wheel, dot BK for back, dot R. Once again, you can name your car whatever you want. You can change cone car to be whatever, but you just have to use it everywhere else that you see me use it here. And lastly, we do the back left wheel, cone car dot wheel dot BK dot L. You can see here, cone car dot body dot wheel dot back dot left dot wheel dot back dot right, front left, front right wheel. So now all we have left to do is set the origin, and then we can actually start making the rig. So for these wheels, you want to make sure that this origin point, which is this little yellow orangish dot, is directly in the center of the wheel. So what you can do is you click on the wheel, right click, set origin, origin to center of mass surface, and you'll see it goes there. For these wheels, they're already at the center, but that's exactly where we want them to be. Now for the main body of the car, it's very important. You put it wherever you want the car to rotate around. You only want it. You only need to choose the origin point laterally, so like left and right. So it doesn't really matter where you put it vertically if you need to reference another point. So what you can do here is you can kind of just select any 2 points or any 1 point or any face, and then it will find the average placement of those points. You can hit Shift S and cursor to select, and it'll bring this 3D cursor over here, this spotted cursor. You go back into object mode, you can right click, set origin, origin to 3D cursor, and then now when you rotate it, you can see this is the turning point of the car. We have one more thing to do here actually, and it's to apply rotations and scales. It's very important because there's a difference between the mesh scale in edit mode and the object scale in object mode. For this instance, all you have to know is for if you have any modifiers, like mirror modifiers or ray modifiers on your objects, you'll see something like you'll see this drop down, and you need to click apply, and then it should remove the modifier, and it should apply it, so you'll be able to see the changes to the geometry in edit mode. So just drop down and hit apply. In object mode, you select the object and then take a look at the right side. The scale, we want the scale to be 1 and we want the rotation to be 0. Now it's good that the rotation's at 0 right now, but all we have to do is click Control A, and it'll bring up this apply menu, and click rotation and scale. Scale will go to 1 and rotation will go to 0 too. And then we can do that for the rest of the wheels too. You only need to do this for the 5 main objects we created. You don't need to do it for the outside rims or anything like that. So click the inside and see we have rotation on the y-axis of 90 degrees and a scale of 0.254. So we'll hit Control A, rotation and scale. Remember to apply your modifiers. Click on the wheel, Control A, rotation and scale. Wheel, Control A, rotation and scale. Wheel, Control A, rotation and scale. Now we're ready to create the rig. So select the inside of the wheels and the main body, and then as long as you installed the add-on correctly, you should be able to open up the add menu. Under armature, you should see car deformation rig. So click that. Now it's most likely going to move a lot of things around, and if you didn't put your car at the center of your world where these red and green lines intersect, it's going to be rather hard for you to do things. But it's an easy way to there's an easy way to fix this. What we do is when selecting the rig, which are these like tapered, what Blender calls bones, you can go into edit mode, select the bigger head in quotes, and then you can hit Shift S, cursor to selected. Then you can also see back in object mode, if you look really closely, you can see this black line. That means that this wheel belongs to this bone here. So we're going to click on this wheel, and seeing that as we have our 3 cursor there, we can hit Shift S again, selection to cursor, and this is exactly where we want our tire to be. So we'll do that again. Click on the rig, click on the head, Shift S, cursor to selected, tab back into object mode, click on the wheel, Shift S, selection to cursor. Make sure you do the right one. Rig, tab into edit mode, click on the head, Shift S, cursor to selected, object mode, wheel, Shift S, selection to cursor. Rig, tab, Shift S, cursor to selected, tab, click, selection to cursor. And now we're ready. All we have left to do is click on this rig here, and then if you hit N on your keyboard, you might already have this up. You can see stuff like item, tool, view, but you want to click on RigACar and then generate. Now I'm not quite sure why it is rotated this way. it's something that I have to fix, but in most cases, it should it should be working completely fine. I'm not quite sure why it's doing this. Wouldn't really be able to tell you quite yet. So that's something that I'm working on. But yeah, you should get a rig at some point after clicking generate. You can see it's upside down for me right now, but I'm going to be working on fixing that later. You can see that you have this gizmo here for suspension. This is for rotation. There's something that's majorly screwed up because I think the entire rig is backwards, so I'm going to need to fix that. So I'm trying to do that right now. There we go, that's better. So you can kind of see we still need to move the objects around a little bit. But you can get the general idea. By in object mode, you'll see this rig here. It says car rig. You can click object mode and go into pose mode. This controls the suspension. This controls the back rotation. Due to it being screwed up, it looks very weird, but usually it would just rotate the back half of the car from that origin point that we provided before. This object is how you move the car back and forth, and by clicking wheels on y-axis, it should rotate the wheels, not like this, but better than this. By choosing this option in the front, you can rotate the wheels like this, and that's just about it.